Hey everybody, my name is Sludge, and I wanted to do an honest review of the Jive Minipod. Now, I saw the Jive Minipod advertisement on Facebook, and they're a little bit deceiving because their ad is done by a white American, and it actually ships from China, which I didn't know about. Even when I was on their website ordering it, I didn't know that. So anyway, I wanted to give you the truth about the Jive Minipods because there's a lot of hype about them. There's a lot of advertisements about them. But I want to give you my experience. So first of all, before we get into the actual product, I ordered the product on February 15th. And I received it on March 5th. So that's pretty much what you expect ordering from China. Again, I didn't know that it was ordering from China until I actually got the shipping information that showed it was coming from China. So I kind of expected that's when it would arrive. I paid $84.60 for two of these, one for myself, one for my wife. Shipping costs $9.99. And here's another thing that they get you on. They say that for a wall charger, you have to spend $10. Now, what they mean by wall charger is just the actual brick that plugs into the wall. They give you, with every order of your Jive Pod, they give you the cord that plugs in here to charge them. And so you actually don't need to pay for that wall charger, because if you have one lying around, unless you just want one, I don't think they're worth $10 because you can get them anywhere. But they're just a USB wall. This one actually had two USBs on it. But if you have one, you can just use that one instead. And then shipping $10, the charger $10. And then for two of these pods, $64, $62. So that's super cheap. You're talking about $32, including tax, $32.31 a piece. And compared to the Apple Pods or AirPods and so on and so forth, that's really cheap. So when I got them in, I'll give you some pros and cons. So obviously the con is that it showed up on the 5th of March. About 2 to 3 weeks. So when I got them in, the packaging was really nice. This case here is actually really nice as well. The feel of it is got kind of a rubbery matte feel, which I love. I don't like the AirPod glossiness. I love that it's black as well. The lid is magnetic, so it opens and closes. It's really neat. It's just something that's really neat to. It just feels nice in your hand. So I love that. This actually doubles as a charger for the pods as well. And so your pods now, they will last mine lasted about 3 to 4 hours of continued use, but then you throw them back in here. As long as this is charged, you throw it back in here, and the instructions say that this will actually last, will charge these 3 to 4 times before you actually have to plug this in again. So that's a pretty cool thing. I do wish the battery on these lasted a little longer, but the fact that I can charge it with this and just throw them in here, take them out of my ear, throw them in here, and move on is pretty cool. So we'll go with some cons first, okay, before we get into the pros. So the cons of these, right? The sound is very quiet, and it's very poor. I had it turned all the way up. Every time that I used it, I had it turned all the way up, and it still was like barely loud enough. Like I wish there was probably like 2 more notches that I could turn it up. So if you're looking for something that's super great sound quality, you're not going to find that with these. It's not very loud either, and so that was a con. Also, one of the things that I don't like is that when you put these in your ear, they have a way that you can push it and touch it and do different things for both of them. Both sides do different things when you touch them. So if you want to skip a song or pause the volume or things, there's certain times you can touch, certain places you can touch. Now, to me, this was very frustrating because they don't clearly spell that out in the instructions. So I'd find myself, just kind of like, if it got loose a little bit, I'd find myself fixing it like this, and it would start calling the last person that I called in my phone. So it was really frustrating because I would hear my phone ringing, and the next thing I know, I'm calling somebody, and it's just, I haven't found a way to be able to disable that. As far as I know, there isn't one. There's nothing in the instructions about disabling that, and it's very annoying because, if you just want to fix it, even if you're touching down here, you're going to be doing something. You can't just go like this without skipping something or turning volume up or down or calling somebody. So that's a little bit frustrating. That's one of the cons, other than the sound, is that I don't really understand how that works. But then, other than the battery being 3 hours, I consider that a con. And then also the fact that there's no instructions. They give you a little booklet. It's obvious that the person that typed it up does not understand English very well. And there's so little information. For example, there's a button here. There's a button. I have no clue what that button does. The instructions say that when you plug this in to the wall, there's a light that pops up on this to show that it's charging. There is absolutely no light on here. That's what the instructions say. There's no light on here. I don't know what this button does. As far as I know, it doesn't do anything. There's no clear instructions as far as how any of it works. It's all very difficult, and believe me, like I work on computers, I troubleshoot things, I've read a lot of instruction manuals, and I feel like I have enough patience to be able to stop and try to think things out, and I just couldn't with this. So that's another con as well. So let's look at the pros. Let's look at the pros. Are there any pros at all? Okay, well, first of all, it's cheap. You're spending $32 before shipping, including tax for this, compared to some other things that is really cheap. Also, the color is really cool. Like, everybody that I've seen that has these are white, and they're like, oh man, where'd you get the black ones? They look so much better, and they really do. I hate the white ones. They don't look good. The black ones, the matte feeling, like I said, the rubber matte feeling is awesome. Like, they don't feel like they're cheap. They feel like they are well made. Again, the case we talked about is pretty cool, and then also the fact that they have microphones on them. So, and I think that's pretty standard with headphones now, or earbuds now. But they've got a microphone, you can make calls, and so on and so forth. So those are some of the pros. Now, here's something bad that happened 2 days ago. Well, the reason why I'm making this review, pretty much. 2 days ago, the left one of these, while I was listening to music, I had them in my ear. The left one just turned off, and it makes a little powering down noise, and it just turned off. So I thought, well, that's weird. So I pulled it out of my ear, and while I was pulling it out of my ear, I thought it was the battery was dead, so I was going to put it back in the charger. But I said the other battery's not dead, and they were in the charger at the same time, so that's strange. But while I was pulling it out of my ear, I dropped it, and I'm 6 foot tall, so I dropped it from 6 feet. I was in a store, dropped it right onto the ground, and the inside here, the lining, if you can see, you might not be able to see very well, but there's a lining right here. It opened up, and it didn't crack or anything, but it opened up. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll just snap it back in. So I just snapped it back in. I thought, well, I must do that in case you drop it. It opens up so that way something doesn't break. But ever since then, this left one has not worked. So, you know, my wife has a pair. I might try to use hers for a while and see. But it lasted from the 5th of March to the 10th of March before this thing fell one time on the ground. And didn't even hit the ground that hard. Wasn't thrown, just fell like that. And cracked open. I pushed it back together, and now it doesn't work. I've plugged it in. I've left it sitting overnight. I let it charge, and I've disconnected Bluetooth, reconnected Bluetooth, unpaired, paired. This right one works 100% of the time. When I turn on my Bluetooth, it will connect. It will play music. It'll play sound, but this one will not. So if you're asking my honest opinion, I would say do not buy. just because of that and some of the other things. I would look on Amazon. If you wanted a cheaper knockoff brand, I'd look on Amazon for a different version of these and see if you can get any better luck. Look up some reviews for those. I'm probably going to be buying another pair, probably off Amazon. So I'll let you know how that goes. And leave a comment if you have a pair of these. Now, don't give me your opinion if you don't have a pair. But if you have a pair of these, and give me your experiences, share your experiences. If you haven't had any problems at all and they work great for you, the sound is perfect, let me know. And I would appreciate that, getting some of your feedback as well. So, hey, until the next time, thank you for watching.